What's up, everybody? Check out these titties and this fat gut, and this situation is not looking good. Look at that. Now, I talked to Cole on Instagram, and I'll have to do one video for snake diet. So basically, this is my channel for fasting and diet. And now, last year I was very successful fasting. I lost a good deal of weight, and I was very happy with the results. However, a bunch of life shit happened. My relationships fell apart, and like I had a bunch of life stressors. And like a little bitch, I started stress eating. And when you stress eat, like a little bitch, gain it all back. Gain it all back right there. And I should have totally, stuck with it as opposed to, going with the flow, because my family and friends were just like, oh, don't worry about it, you can get over that, girl, just eat this food and you'll be fine and you'll get over it. But that's not how you do it. Okay, so basically after 3 weeks of coming back to Canada, I lost almost 7 kilograms. I came here at 100 kilograms. I lost 7 kilograms, and I'm mostly doing 3-day fasts. Sometimes one time I did 4 days, but mostly 3-day fast. And I refeed. I eat meat, red meat, up to 500 grams. But the past 2 times there was family here, so we ended up eating too much. Ended up going to restaurants, and that's not good for reaching your goals. So what you have to do is make sure you plan your meals better and avoid meal times with family. I think that's the best thing to do.
That's not a good thing to say to people.
But the thing to do here is, when you're trying to lose weight, you have to control your environment, because if you can't control your environment, you can't control your weight. And the social influences in your environment can dictate where you go in terms of not just diet, but also influences the decisions that you will make down the future. So like that's the kind of point I'm at. In the past 6 months, I've had a lot of difficulty. I gained a lot of weight in the past, I guess, year after I lost it in the steak diet. But now I gained it back because of stress and stuff like that with family, and I had a breakup and all this other stuff, which I don't want to go into detail. But the basic gist of it is that stressful relationships can cause you to choose really weak coping mechanisms that will eventually, you'll have to fix it later. So like Cole's video today, stress eating is really for bitches and pussies, because it doesn't help you to try to cope with any form of stress with any sort of comfort seeking behavior, because comfort seeking behavior, ultimately you'll have to pay a price on it. Any sort of comfort seeking, you will pay a price on it. Whether it's a shoulder that you want to cry on or some food that you want to seek, you'll have to pay a price for it. And in my case, I pay a price by gaining a bunch of weight, and now I have to cut very aggressively and then train and stuff like that, and can't go to the gym as aggressively as I want and all this stuff. But losing the weight is good, and but I have to tell you, if you're facing a lot of stressful situations and you're cutting food, what you will see is that you will be face to face with all the judgments, all the pain, and all the anguish, and all this, all that discomfort. So there'll be a lot of pressure for you to just like cut the fast and eat or whatever. But what you have to do is actually use that pain to modify your life and make it better and more purposeful, or minimize it, or cut some people out, as I did. I was living in Thailand, and I had a different life over there, and I had to cut all that because it started to give me a lot of stress. I was there for almost half a decade, but I started developing a lot of stress living there, so I had to cut all of it, because stress over time will kill you. And you can cut sugar, you can get cancer, all this stuff. Like, stress in itself is something that will cause a lot of issues in your health. So if you truly value your health, you have to cut stress. And another thing is, don't worry about any extra expenditures like your fashion, where you live, and all this stuff. Minimalize everything. Cut all the crap out. Don't worry about people's judgment, because ultimately it does not matter, and to worry about it is just extra stress, and that stress will make you sick and make you die. And in my case, I gained a whole lot of weight, and I got a fatty liver, and one of my eyes got blurry, and then I have floaters now, and a pre-diabetic, and blood pressure going through the roof. I'm only 32, and all these conditions is caused by stress. And of course, accompanied by stress eating. So, cut the stress eating, and more importantly, cut the stress. Because if you can't cut the stress, it will come back to you in another form. It will come back. So you got to minimize. You sleep on the floor, sleep in the car, give away your possessions. Don't waste money on bullshit. Just like don't try to impress people. Just be who you are. Because ultimately your purpose will come out, and it's going to be very uncomfortable. And it's going to be a very painful process, because that's how growth is. Growth is outside of the comfort zone. And anytime you're in comfort or you're seeking comfort, just know that you're either ruining your health or you're distancing away from who you're supposed to be, because you're numbing yourself to the reality of life. And you can spend your whole life in a comfort zone, and you won't get anywhere. And I know a lot of people like that. In fact, I have family members who are like that, whose parents are wealthy enough and they can live in the comfort, and they'll never grow. They'll be intellectual midgets for the rest of their lives. And that's not. I don't want to live like that. I would rather live in extreme discomfort and stoic mentality in order to be able to grow and create and be who I'm meant to be, or give something more meaningful and authentic before I go, because you're gonna die. And today I was looking at my photos and all this stuff, and there was a lot of hesitation and stifling around me, and I had a lot of fear of judgment, and because I wasn't able to tolerate the discomfort, and that's what led me to stress eat and all this other shit. So all I'm saying to you people who are trying to do the steak diet, all this stuff, this diet is not just about food. It's about minimalism. It's about stoicism. It's about cutting off the excess in your life and getting down to the real things. And that's how you really get healthy, not just in your physique, but also in your mind. And hopefully you find this helpful.